Black Lives Matter is a word, it is a phrase. Black Lives Matter is a phrase when it should be a verb. It is a noun when it should be an action word. Black Lives Matter is a phrase. It's a statement. It's a pronoun when it should be a verb. It should be an action phrase. It should be what you do, not just what you say. Black Lives Matter should be most used, most expressed among blacks. Black Lives Matter should not be a phrase that we pull out only to address white police officers. It should not be a phrase that is used only when a white person is doing something to a black person. What about all of the black rappers that have been murdered by blacks? From PNB to Nipsey Hussle, all the way back to Tupac and Biggie. Hundreds of murders, and not one person said Black Lives Matter, hashtag Black Lives Matter, or took to the streets to protest Black Lives Matter. Why do Black lives only matter if it's white versus black? Black Lives Matter should be a verb that is used every single day. Black men should respect black women because Black Lives Matter. Black women should stop dogging out black men because Black Lives Matter. Black men should stop saying they don't date black women because Black Lives Matter. Why do you have to check in when you come to California? Because it's a gang culture if Black Lives Matter. So all of this outrage over a t-shirt is misdirected. When Black Lives Matter becomes a verb instead of a hashtag, when it becomes action instead of a phrase, then black lives will truly matter. You can't expect from others what you yourself are not willing to do. Nipsey Hussle was gunned down in front of his store with a few people that were with him. The guy walked up to him while he was still alive and put a bullet in his head. It was on camera. Not one person screamed, yelled, or even protested in the street, Black Lives Matter. And everyone knew this man was murdered. Other rappers have been murdered, most recently PNB, in a restaurant by a black man. Yet nobody said Black Lives Matter. Nobody got in the streets to protest. Nobody even hashtag Black Lives Matter. We can go back as far as Biggie and Tupac. Hundreds of rappers have been murdered at the hands of other blacks, and yet not one person said Black Lives Matter. Not one person took to the street to protest these murders of black men by other black men. No one said Black Lives Matter to black men. It's arithmetic. Black Lives Matter. But it's more than a hashtag. It's more than a phrase. It's more than a slogan. And it's more than something that's popular in this moment. Black Lives Matter should be a way of life. It should be how you move every single day. It should be how you treat each other every single day. Every time you disrespect another black person, you're not behaving Black Lives Matter. Every time you disrespect a black woman, you're not behaving Black Lives Matter. Every time you disrespect a black man, you are not behaving Black Lives Matter. When gang members threaten people, when they come to a city as if they own that city, and in order for you to not get hurt, you have to check in, they're behaving Black Lives Don't Matter. So until Black Lives Matter to blacks, it's rudimentary to say it to anybody else when there is more black on black crime than any other crime currently in cities like Chicago, New York, Los Angeles. And it's all televised on television. I should see the same energy, the same actions, the same outrage towards young black men being murdered by other black men as was shown for Floyd. People took to the streets because it was motivated by politics. It was driven by politics. It wasn't done prior to or since. The biggest flooding of concern came when it was time for an election. When the Democrats wanted Trump out of office, they were the money machine behind driving Black Lives Matter. That's why it was so aggressive. And once the election happened, like clockwork, it stopped. Nobody took to the street. Nobody was vocal. All the outrage all of a sudden disappeared when nothing got resolved. It was just driven politically by the Democrats who wanted the Republicans out of office. So they funded a movement to get black people to vote, to get them outraged, to get them to come to the polls and put somebody in office. And once that was accomplished, I haven't seen anything since. I haven't seen anyone march in the street when a black rapper was murdered by another black person. Nothing happened. So Black lives only matter when it's an election year. We saw people painting the street, putting up signs all over the place, hashtagging everywhere. And we're not even going to discuss what happened with the money for the movement, because it's not about an organization, whether people spent the money, whether they bought houses. Black Lives Matter should be a behavior. It should be how black people move on a daily basis among black people. Black men should treat black men like Black Lives Matter. Black men should treat black women like Black Lives Matter. Black women should treat each other like Black Lives Matter. Black women should treat black men like Black Lives Matter. When we respect each other and love each other and lock arms around each other and protect each other as if we believe with every fiber of our being Black Lives Matter, then it won't matter what's on a t-shirt. When a fashion statement becomes more important than the actual action of black people, when a t-shirt can outrage you more than a man being shot in cold blood in front of his store, and then we watched as the man walked up to him and put a bullet in his head to guarantee he was dead and walked away. When black lives truly matter to other black people, and it's done 24/7 on a daily basis, then this is irrelevant. A t-shirt does not matter when you are behaving Black Lives Matter. Who cares what's on a t-shirt? Who cares about a fashion statement? Who cares what happened at a fashion show? That's literally where this took place. There's more outrage over this than there was over PMB being shot in a restaurant as he ate chicken and waffles. That should have brought outrage. Nipsey Hussle being killed should have brought outrage. All the other rappers, too many to even name, should have brought outrage. The same energy that was given to this shirt should have been given to the senseless murders of black men by other black men. All of the killing and murdering in the city of Chicago. And we know that it's going on, but nobody's taking to the street. Nobody's yelling Black Lives Matter when black people are murdering black people every day, all day. When gang members are beating up and killing people just on GP, general principle. I'm in a gang, so I get to threaten you and beat you up and green light you getting your ass whooped because black lives do not matter to gang members. Clearly, they do not matter to the overall culture because I don't see black people loving each other at a high enough level that this t-shirt is irrelevant. You'll burn gym shoes, but you won't get in the street and do some groundwork, some grassroots work to help these young black men stop killing each other. You'll get on your social media platform and give a speech, and now we're playing Black Panther videos and putting our fists in the air as if that's actually doing something. That's doing absolutely nothing. When we are actively behaving, we love each other. Black men wrapping their arms around black women and protecting them, the way they did in the 60s and the 70s. Black men standing up and taking responsibility for how they behave with their children. A female shouldn't have to take you to child support court to get you to take care of your child. Black lives should matter. Women shouldn't have to worry that a man is not going to treat them right because black lives should matter. Men should feel respected by black women because black lives matter. Black men shouldn't be holding up other ethnic groups as the symbol of beauty and disregarding black women because black lives should matter. So when black lives matter to black people, when black people are angry and outraged when a black person harms another black person, when a black person disrespects a black person, when a black person mistreats another black person, when you put that same energy into that you have put into a shirt, then black lives will truly matter. And you won't have to hashtag it. You won't have to say it because you will be behaving it. You will be walking your talk. And if every black person in this country did that around the globe, I promise you, white America would respect that. You can't expect from others to do for you what you're not willing to do for yourself. This shirt doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. What matters is how is each black man, black woman, black child behaving towards other black people on a daily basis. Are you behaving Black Lives Matter? Are you walking your talk? And if you're doing that at the highest level, this shirt means nothing to you because your action is supporting your belief that black lives truly do matter. Black lives need to matter to black people. Black crime on black individuals should be at an all-time low instead of an all-time high. And until we address that, until we address the self-hatred and the disrespect among each other and the killing and the savage murdering of each other and the taking advantage and the swindling and the stealing from each other and the conning and the scamming of each other, until we stop doing damage to black people, miss me with this fake ass outrage over a t-shirt. Because the very people who are angry about this t-shirt, I don't see shit that you're doing to behave. Black Lives Matter. It's a catchphrase. It's something cute that you say. And then you put the responsibility on someone else to do something about the problem. If Black Lives Matters to you, it is your problem. It is your issue. And it is your responsibility to do something about it 24/7. And if you are doing that, you don't have time to notice what's on the back of somebody's t-shirt at a fashion show. When every single black person in this country moves like Black Lives Matter, then the hashtag will not be necessary, because black lives will truly matter. We didn't need this phrase in the 60s. We didn't need the phrase in the 70s, because blacks had more black power, black love, black support. They behaved Black Lives Matter because they locked arms with each other. That was the essence of the Black Power movement, the Black Panther movement, rather. So move, behave, Black Lives Matter. Make that a verb. And then ignore t-shirts.